Dat maakt helemaal niks uit. Ik ben echt even snel de laatste dingen aan het klaarzetten. Als het goed is doet de stream het al wel. Safe. Ja, we zijn live, maar ze kunnen je nog niet horen. Tenminste, dat hoop ik.
feel this tide choke my neck and I just wonder why I'm buried in a suit I'd never buy, a suit I'd never buy. Cufflinks on my wrist, I can't act surprised when the shovels hit dirt in the earth. Did they start to cry?
Hallo en welkom iedereen bij de tweede match van de Dorans interne competitie. Ik ben Bart en ik ben hier gejoind met mijn geliefde Tom, mijn co-caster.
Hallo iedereen, ik ben Tom.
Ja Tom, vandaag Formidable 5 tegen Inters in training. Twee helemaal nieuwe teams bij Dorans, als ik het goed heb.
Ja, daar lijkt het wel op. Het zijn spelers die ik in ieder geval nog niet heel goed herken, maar ik heb goede hoop dat zij een paar leuke games kunnen neerzetten in ieder geval.
Zeker,
Dus,
zeker.
Volgens mij gaan ze nu zo direct beginnen. En ik heb even een klein beetje vooronderzoek gedaan naar beide teams, maar ik moet heel eerlijk zeggen dat ik niet heel goed weet wat ik moet verwachten. De elo's van Formidable 5 zijn iets hoger dan dat van Inters in training, maar je weet nooit, je weet nooit wat voor een secret threat ze hebben.
Zeker, zeker. En ja, we gaan nu al meteen beginnen met de pick-and-ban phase.
Volgens mij, ze hebben de Nico geband en de Lucian geband. En als ik mij niet vergis, was Nico van de midlaner van Formidable 5 wel een pick. Dus dat hebben ze op zich wel gescout dan.
Mhm.
Maar even goed om te weten, het team Formidable 5, volgens mij was het Formidable 5, heeft Inters in training heeft op het laatste moment nog een sub moeten inroepen. Dat is V8 of V3 of 8 strength. Dat is de AD carry van Weakside Prisoners, een ander team in deze pool. En dat schijnt wel een hele sterke speler te zijn als ik het zo op zijn op.gg mag zien. Dus ik ben benieuwd of dit de kansen van het team vergroot.
Ja, dus we hebben aan de linkerkant Formidable 5. Met Silence, Sun and Stone, Fluk, Danny en Emre. En aan de rechterkant hebben wij Inters in training. Is er nu al wat raars aan de hand met bands of valt het nu wel mee?
Ik durf het niet zo goed te zeggen, want ik ben niet heel erg bekend met beide teams. Maar ik verwacht wel dat ze wel redelijk wat onderzoeken hebben gedaan misschien. Want ik zou... Nami zag ik bijvoorbeeld wel heel erg bij de support. Bij de support staan van Inters in training. Dus ik denk dat ze wel proberen de meest gespeelde champions van bepaalde spelers wel te halen. Het is wel zo dat het elo over het algemeen bij Formidable 5 wel een stuk hoger ligt dan Inters in training. Dus het is maar even de vraag wie je dan gaat targeten met het beperkte aantal bands die je hebt.
Ja.
En zo te zien hebben we daar de eerste pick, dat is een Ezreal. En dat is voor volgens mij Danny de AD carry. En Danny heeft, zoals ik hier kan zien, 64 games gespeeld in dit seizoen met Ezreal. Met een 45% winrate, maar wel bijna 4.0 KDA. Dus dat is waarschijnlijk wel een comfort pick voor deze man.
Oké, ja.
Even kijken. En we hebben zo te zien ook nog... hebben we nog meer... Ja, Ari voor... Even kijken, welke speler is dit? Hier was ook weer van de midlaner.
Oh, wait, yeah, of course. Sorry everybody, we should have started this in English. I just started talking in Dutch and we carried on from there. That's my fault, but
Force of habit.
We'll continue on in English now. We haven't said much of
anything. Okay, so we've seen the Victor pick, which I believe is also a comfort for. Let me quickly check that op.ggs. No, I think Victor is not that comfortable of a pick for their mid laner, or I might be wrong, but yeah, they've picked the Mundo. That's going to be a fun top lane, and by fun I mean, of course, very interactive and with an appropriate amount of counterplay. So, if I were to guess, Mundo needs time to skill and become a proper menace. Either that, or they're going to focus a lot on the top side and get that Mundo rolling so you can 1v9.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not entirely sure how they are going to make it work. We'll have to see. But there's actually 21 viewers already.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Are there any fans for either of the teams in the chat? I'm curious.
I would love to see some love for both of these teams. They are new players in Dorans, and they need all the encouragement they can get.
Yeah, first match on stream for them. That must
Okay,
be a lot of stress.
So we have the Jinx ban coming out, which is a target towards I presume the replacement AD carry, which is number 8 strength. And then they might be going for the Malphite, so that might actually be a Malphite top lane and a Mundo jungle, or the other way around. It might actually be the Mundo top and the Malphite jungle, though Malphite jungle isn't the best pick. Well,
but is Mundo nowadays? Because I haven't seen that much either.
I'm not sure either, but the Trundle pick is a very obvious and proper counter for both of these, because Mundo, of course, has his ultimate with which he can steal resistances, and if you have 2 hyper tanks, it means you have an even bigger front line just running back at you. So if they can use that properly, then it'll be interesting for sure.
So then the Fiora is the top lane, I suppose.
Yeah.
Trundle jungle.
Yeah, I think so. Then the from personal experience, I know that Malphite into Fiora can go one of 2 ways. Either the Fiora gets an insane early lead with or without the help of the jungler, or the Fiora is abandoned completely and doesn't trade when she has to, which allows the Malphite to scale, get items, and eventually, if the Malphite has like 1 or 2 items, you can't fight them anymore as Fiora. It's just, you just have too much armor, the attack speed slow and whatever. It's going to be really difficult. So I'm excited to see what Formidable 5 is going to do to keep the Malphite tiny and the Fiora big.
So that's quite a bit of a responsibility on the jungler there.
Yeah. Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag of experience with both of these teams. So I'm excited to see if they can come together and become a team, because I do believe that none of these players have ever actually played together before they joined Dorans.
Yeah, probably not. It's been like a small 2 weeks now since the teams got released, so they either must have played together by accident, or just not at all. So
well, I checked their match histories, and I could barely find a game that they played together. So there might still need to be some work done on the synergy in both of the teams. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun game to watch, especially since they're also new. And I also see some fans in the chat here. I see a #1 fan for Emre and #1 fan for Danny, which are on the same team here. So we already have 2 fans here for the Formidable 5.
It might just be the players themselves trying to sneak the other team, which might be a little bit hard because we have a 3-minute delay. But
yeah. Oh, and we do have an actual fan for Silence, because I know Mioa isn't playing here.
Wait, who's Silence?
Silence is also on Formidable 5, the Fiora.
Oh, I'm a really good caster, by the way. I can read. It's the Fiora, of course. Yeah, Fiora is the kind of pick that you take to literally bully someone, because if used properly, it can take over a game single-handedly. because you have incredible 1v1 potential, and you have incredible split boost potential. So it'll be nice to see or it'll be interesting to see rather how Innocent Training is going to respond to the Fiora and if they are able to keep silence in check.
Mm-hmm.
But as it so happens, often in these series, you'll see meta developing where one strategy used, and the other game is another strategy used, and it evolves over the course of the series. So I'm interested to see what they'll pull out and what they'll respond with in next games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so everybody who doesn't know this, we're actually playing a best of 3 tonight.
Yeah.
So you're not done yet. If you win the first game, you still got to hold on for the second one.
We were talking previously about how I wanted there to be like 3 games worth 45 minutes each, but I don't think that'll be great for this duo of casters because we might be entirely apathetic at the end.
Yeah, please have some mercy on us.
Yeah, okay, it seems the cooldown has elapsed, and we're in the loading screen now, so we should add into game shortly. Okay, I need your opinion. Who do you think won the skin war?
Ooh, well, I know neither of these champions, so I don't really have any favorites, although I do like the little slugger Trundle, so just for that I'm gonna give it to Formidable 5.
Yeah, I think I will give it to I think I will give it to Formidable 5 as well. I like that Psyops Victor, which looks kind of cool. All right. I'm not yet in game, so I'll tell you. Okay. I'm at 0.000 seconds currently.
It's being a bit of a slow one today.
Yeah, I'm not loaded in yet.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. It's I'm at like 3, 4, 5. About the same as you.
Yeah, you're like half a second behind.
All right.
Right, so the only viable commentary I'm gonna be able to give is from the perspective of a Bronze 1 jungler, who absolutely hates doing anything but farming camps.
Well,
So
that's basically 50% of the game anyway.
so if I see any invade here, you've already lost my empathy.
Well, it looks like we're not going to see any invade yet, though the Ari might try to get some early vision. Doesn't seem like they are going to contest for it, but in the top lane river, yeah, Fiora's going to fight the Mundo, but Mundo is really weak. Well, yeah, that's a flash coming. Yeah, and this is exactly what I meant, because the dueling potential of a Fiora is really, really strong early, and because she has the passive procs, which I believe do additional physical damage or maybe even true damage and heal her for a portion, and Trundle, or rather Mundo can't contest with that at all. At least not until he has a couple of items.
And also, I just noticed we have the Malphite in the jungle, not the Trundle that we suspected.
Yeah, I had assumed it would have been the Malphite jungle, because you rarely see a Mundo jungle, so if that's going to be one of them, it would have been the Malphite.
Okay.
I need to quickly add my scoreboard. Right. Okay. Yeah, it seems to be though there aren't any special tricks being done over in the jungle. They are just both clearing their camps. But
The Fiora playing very aggressive.
yeah, I think she's trying to get ahead early in this game. I think that's they may have decided that is one of their win conditions, to get the advantage onto Fiora so she can be an incredible threat in the top lane.
And so what about the bot lane matchup? How's that looking?
I think it's fairly I'm not entirely sure. I think I'd give the advantage to the Braum Ezreal purely because the all-in potential. Braum can just dash in and use his passive, which if proc 3 times gives off a stun, which is incredibly useful if you want to 2v2. Whereas the
Oh, okay.
oh wait,
With the
they
first
reconnected.
disconnect.
Yeah, that's we might have already missed the brief pause that ensued. But yeah, the Soraka can start to become a problem a little bit later because she has a lot of utility with her heals and stuff. But in terms of the 2v2, she isn't that much of a help if Tristana is dove. That's why it's useful for Tristana to keep a hold on a jump so she can jump away if it's necessary. There's some pings coming out in the river. That might be the mid laner pinging that Ahri was gone, but the Ahri gets a little bit of poke forward troubles. But that trade is going fairly square into the Victor's favor. But the Malphite is ganking middle lane and throws out 1Q and leaves, like the Chad Rock he is. But there's a gank on the top lane. The Muno is getting ganked by both the Trundle and the Fiora. Yeah. But the healing is not enough, and the Trundle gets the first blood.
And Fiora just also barely getting away there.
Yeah, but I believe they juggled the aggro of the turret fairly well, which is great. A little bit unfortunate maybe that the Trundle got the kill instead of the Fiora, but a kill is a kill, which gives a little bit of money in the pockets of. Wait, I need to get the.
When the Malphite is in the wrong jungle here. He's getting.
Yeah, I think he might. I think he might have wanted to get some invading going, but I think he's being. Yeah. Oh wait, there's a fight going on the bot lane. The Tristana jumped in an attempt to force a fight, but that was actually. I'm not so sure about that jump idea he had, because you remember what I said about using the jump sparingly. He jumped right into two of them, with the Soraka barely being able to support them, and he had no vision of the jungler, so that was a doomed fight, whichever way you put it. That was some poor decision making coming from the substitute AD carry. So that leaves the.
Yeah, maybe if they had the Malphite still on the fight, they could have done something, but he was long gone by the time she jumped in.
The Formidable 4-5 gained an early lead there, with about nearly 3k gold ahead at 6 minutes almost.
3k gold, 3 kills. That's
yeah, that's quite.
rough.
The most gold is on the Ezreal, who has about 700 gold on the enemy Tristana. And you can see that the Fiora is attempting to trade with the Muno, but the Muno already has a ridiculous amount of health for the Ruby Crystal and only the Dorans shield, so it's already being a nuisance towards the Fiora. So I'm curious to see how the Fiora is able to scale up in this lane.
So how can I see the gold on the scoreboard again? I know there was a.
You need to press X.
X.
I have it enabled so that the scoreboard doesn't disappear.
Oh, there we go. Yes.
Okay. Fiora is going back. She has 1,000 gold, so she might be going for a cull actually. That's interesting. She's going to farm she's going to farm 100 CS and get a little bit of extra gold. And if the lane is any indication, she might be able to get that gold in a good amount of time. Both junglers have recently backed, so it seems that might not be a threat of ganking anytime soon.
Yeah, nobody is very eager to get on the Drake thus far.
That's true, but yeah, oh wait, the Fiora is going all in on the Mundo, and she managed to proc all four of her passive procs, but the Mundo has popped his ult in response, so the trade isn't exactly lean towards something, but I think I might see the Fiora going for a re-engage because the Mundo's ult is now down, which means he doesn't have the sustain anymore. But we'll have to see if the Fiora has the balls. But the Malphite is in the wings, so she might suffer a gank sooner or later.
Yeah, it's looking a bit tough for the Trundle right now, or the Mundo, I mean.
Yeah,
And
he has 37 CS at the moment to the Fiora's 69. Nice. So that lane is already heavily going in the favor of the Fiora, even if the trades might not be. And there's some pings going around, so it's likely that they spotted the Malphite as he is heading top lane. There are no camps on the top lane, so yeah, he's coming for a gank, but the Fiora suit spot is, yeah, they have a controller there, so that's not going anywhere. Same is happening on the bot side, it seems. The Trundle put a control ward in the bush, and then it's going for the dragon. So that's the first dragon of the game, likely going towards for the Formidable 5.
Yeah,
What are your guesses for the Dragon Soul? Which do you expect to see?
I am hoping for the clouds.
Yeah.
I do quite like the cloud soul.
Let me see. I think the next drake will be an Earth Drake, so we might actually see the Clown Soul, which would be fun, especially for the Instants in training, because it obviously the Cloud Soul gives extra movement speed when you cast your ultimate, which for Trundle is really useful. Oh, the Braum is going in bot side and manages to land one skill shot on the Soraka, but it doesn't amount to much. And it seems that the Malphite is invading the jungle and is getting himself a blue buff for his troubles.
It's not the first time he's doing that. He seems quite confident that he can just go in the enemy's jungle.
That's a bold strategy against the Trundle. Wait, the Trundle has spotted him. And then, yeah, he hits the pillar, and he has to flash, and he uses the ult to get away. So that is two very important cooldowns that the Malphite now does not have. So if I was the Formidable 5, I might try to force a fight somewhere, maybe on the bottom lane, because the Malphite is now effectively useless.
Yeah, they don't seem to be doing that, because I see the Trundle going for the Rift Heart, huh?
But that's also a pretty good choice. I mean, if you know that the Malphite is neutralized for like 2 minutes or so, you can just take whatever you want. In this case, the Rift Tower. And if you look at the lanes, wave states of all the different lanes, you can see that most lanes are either pushing in or neutral, which is not really a good environment to make a gank in.
Mm-hmm.
But the Malphite is looking bottom lane, but he's going back instead because there's not really anything to do for him there, unless. Oh, he's not. He might have wanted to go and evade again, but that's. Okay.
Yeah.
It seems that the Fiora was pinging for the top lane brush, but it didn't have any vision, so this might be another gank on the top lane, but I'm not sure if they'd be able to pull it off, because that Mundo is mighty chunky, and he likely has ultimate, so if they engage right now, then if the Mundo plays it smartly, then it might end up badly.
Yeah, and they have the Malphite coming in for support as well, so this is doomed if they go for it now.
Yeah, and the Malphite has his ult up again, so this might be
close engage down mid lane as well.
Well, of course, if the Fiora is conservative with a W, which of course negates CC and sends a stun back, then it might actually be good for the Fiora, but I don't think the Fiora can 1v2 at this stage of the game yet. Yeah, the Malphite is looking for a gank top lane. Yeah, they are pinging, and it's going down. It's going down. He's flashed. Yeah, that's a good W. That's a good W by the Fiora, and he manages to dodge most of the C coming out from the Mundo and survives for the cost of his flash and his ultimate. So the Mundo and the Malphite expended both their ultimates for a flash and an ultimate on Fiora's side, which I would say this is in the favor of the Fiora when it all comes down to it.
But she is missing a wave now, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, but
Very much not sure about waves in this game.
yeah, I think she could have really missed the wave if the Mundo could chosen to push it in, but she might not really lose a lot of CS. Look, she's already back. She lost maybe like 2 caster minions, 1 melee minion, which, given that she has like almost 30 CS ahead of the Mundo, it's not that bad. The bot lane is fairly quiet. There's a little bit of poking going down, but not a lot really.
Yeah, it looks like Blue is setting themselves up for a good contest on the Drake though.
Yeah, I think both teams are a little bit careful. They don't want to overcommit and perhaps make stupid plays that might come to bite them in the ass. But that's another Q hit by the Braum. And the Braum is fairly good with landing his crowd control. Whoa!
Rift Owl there.
Yeah, that's the... I almost thought that the Malphite was not on Ari's team. So I thought that the Malphite was running up behind from the turret and ganking them, which I would have found really funny, but... Okay. If I was Mundo, I would just... I think I would trade with Fiora, but then again, I am... Wait, the Fiora is teleporting bot lane. There's a fight going down, but it's already been... I think it already... it's already over before it even started, and the Fiora, like the team player, took a bit of tower damage to make sure that the others were able to grab the kills. I was not paying attention to the bottom lane, I will be honest. I was looking at the top lane.
Well, that's 2 kills for them, including a blue and a dragon probably.
That's 3 kills in fact. That's
amazing.
Yeah, it's they have amounted almost 6k gold lead, and they are likely going to get the first tower now as well, which of course isn't as it's not as useful as it could have been had they taken the plates off of it, but they're not going for the turret, which I suppose is fairly smart because you don't have any vision on the jungler. And they don't have a lot of minions left, so... So now the Ezreal has 3 kills, the Trundle has 2 kills. And I think this game is fairly convincingly developing in Formidable 5's direction.
So it looks like we have the Mountain Soul then, don't we? Or Infernal Soul, I mean.
No, it's going to be the Ocean Soul.
Ocean Soul,
actually.
okay.
Yeah, it's always after the first two drakes are not the ones that'll get the soul. So it was either going to be the Cloud Drake or the Ocean Drake, and it looks like it's going to be the Ocean Soul. And if Formidable 5 keeps up control of the objectives like they have done for the past 50 minutes, then they might be able to get the Dragon Soul in a fairly short amount of time.
And so is the Ocean Soul good for them here? Or would they rather want a different one?
I mean, it's the Ocean Soul gives you an insane amount of health regen when you take damage for the first time, so any moment they try to fight, it'll be useful. And I suppose that the
what is the Fiora doing here?
Yeah, the Fiora is actually... Yeah, the Fiora is actually going to try to... Yeah, she's proxying the waves behind the turret of the Mundo. But if she... Ooh, this might not really be smart. Oh, actually... Yeah, that's actually the kill towards the Mundo. That wasn't... I thought the Fiora would have had enough damage with a passive procs, but I think she hesitated. I think she didn't want to go in... Wait, is Trundle now going to... I'm seeing the Fiora pinging Pinging the Soraka R. Did you see the Soraka R going down? Yeah, it is on cooldown. So Soraka might have used her ult to help the Mundo, which might have meant the difference between dying or not dying.
Yeah, and the Trundle didn't want to have a go at the Mundo. I didn't see how
But
healthy the Mundo was there, but
I was actually just about to say before that fight went down that if I was Innocent training, I would just hunker down, don't take a lot of risks, because eventually the Malphite and the Mundo will scale, and in spite of them having a Trundle and Brown, the front line of Mundo and Malphite is a lot scarier in the late game than they are. I'd say.
Ari barely getting away here. Again, she's... I think this is the third time I've seen her getting bursted down for almost full health.
Yeah, she was also almost 30 CS behind, and the Brawl might try to do a tower dive, maybe try and grab the kill. I think he might try to. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
The flash Q, and that's a kill for the Brawl.
And the Fiora, 1v2
Yeah, the
here
Fiora,
under the tower.
The Fiora 1v2 the Malphite and the Mundo on the tower. Yeah. She might be able to use her healing. Yeah, she's actually using her passive procs decently, but it wasn't enough to fight the Moon Knight. Like I said, I didn't think she'd be ready to fight both of them at the same time yet, and I was right.
So she's getting a little bit ahead of herself here.
Yeah,
Dying
I would have
twice here.
if I had been. I mean, I've been in Fiora lanes before, and I've played tanks incident, and I always like to go an anti-heal item in the form of a Bramble Vest, because wait, they are popping up. They are diving the bottom lane. This is going to be interesting with 3 of them. 3 for 3, but I think with the health bars, it's going to be heavily favored towards the Formidable 5. Yeah, they managed to get the Tristana early, and
Are we coming into
the Mundo isn't much of a help. Yeah, that was a really well executed dive actually of the Formidable 5, because they knew there wasn't any support. They had the vision, and they had 4 members willing to commit, which is yeah, and actually Fiora might,
2 towers,
or rather the Ahri might actually die here if she's not careful. She should really go back.
To the tower?
If she might have. Well, yeah. That was a little bit. That was a little cocky of the Ahri. But let's.
There we go.
Wait, actually, the
Malphite
Malphite
getting 2 kills back.
Yeah.
It's something at least, but
Wait,
Fiora getting the top turret here as well.
Will you look at the item that the Malphite just built?
The Malphite, I have no clue what that is. I've never seen it in my
That
life.
is a Night Harvester, and a Night Harvester is an item usually built by AP mid laners. It is not normally built by a tank. So this Malphite is actually not going tank, he's going AP. And I think he's going to try to be a secondary source of damage for the team. And I know from personal experience that AP Malphite can do a lot of damage. And he just 1v1 the, albeit fairly low health Victor, but if this is any indication of what is to come, then we might be in for some fun team fights.
So then the Mundo is gonna be the brunt of the tank in this team then?
Yeah, that's, I'm not entirely sure if they intended to do that in the first place, because Mundo can really easily be CC'd if he doesn't use his passive properly, and the Formidable 5 do have a lot of CC in the form of the Braum, the.
It's gonna be a team fight here in the top lane.
Yeah, there might be a skirmish going down in the top lane with the Victor being engaged on by the Mundo, but the Mundo is not yet tanky enough to 1v5. That wasn't the greatest amount of plays that they could have made, but.
And the Soraka ult being pinged again, so
Yeah.
no one was used yet again without any effect.
Yeah, it's like I said in the early game, the Soraka might not be too useful in the 2v2, but the amount of utility she has for the team is actually amazing. And I always, in the games that I play, it's always a necessity to kill the Soraka as soon as possible, because if the Soraka is competent, then she can really change the course of the team fight. But it seems
As you
that the
say
Fiora
that,
is, Fiora is now ready to 1v2,
there
which
we
she
go.
does with very little difficult. But she might actually try to continue. She's ignited. Yeah, it might not. This might be the end for the Fiora. Yeah, she did not have the cooldowns at the end, and it was. It would have been a little bit too much to expect
Still
a 1v4.
2v1
Yes.
trade, which I think the mid lane used to grab some health off the tower, if I'm correct.
I did not yet notice, but I might. There's some like fairly equal trades, I would say, in some parts of the map. But of course, the Formidable 5 now do have the Baron, which allows them to push a lot harder. And I think that, given the advantages they already have, with the 13k gold lead they have, they might be starting to plan the end of the game.
Yeah.
And it seems that the Ari died again to the 1v1 with the Victor, which I did not notice because I was focusing on bot lane. Let's see if the Fiora is cocky enough to try that 1v2 again. The Mundo, though, already has his mythic item finished, and he has a Bramblefest, so I don't think he can be 1v1 by the Fiora anymore, but
Ooh, okay.
yeah, the
Trundle
Troll
having
did
to
not
pull
get...
out there?
Yeah, but Trundle did not pop his ultimate yet, so he's in fairly okay shape. If the fight starts and he ults the Mundo, then I think it's going to be a quick GG.
Yeah, Victor still has his teleport up as well, so
Yeah, it's...
can pop in anytime he wants.
I'm honestly struggling to find ways for the Intercent training to get back into this game. I'm not seeing it happen. Yeah, that's
Bit cocky from Trundle, but it's getting away
yeah.
as well.
If I were them, I would try and do a last ditch fight in front of this last inhibitor, because if
And then the Fiora going in
yeah,
for
the
a
Fiora
1v1.
is ending by herself. Actually,
Might be a bit too cocky, but is she getting away?
Yeah, she's fine. I think she might be able to get away unless Ari has some more stacks.
Yeah, pulling off
No,
two
I think the
defenders
Fiora is going to be able to get away.
She-
And it seems that the Intercent training live to fight another day.
But yeah, they might live to fight another day, but if you look
Yeah,
at the
oh
farm
wow.
here,
You
it's
might not have
unbelievable.
noticed that, but that was fucking beautiful. The Malphite engaged on the Fiora, who then used her W to great effect, which stunned the Malphite in return, allowing her to kill him. And she managed to kill the Ari just as quickly. And this Fiora, let me just check her stats for a moment. 6 kills, 3 deaths, 2 assists, 205 farm. She is about she's 4,000 gold ahead, a little bit over 4,000 gold ahead over the Mundo, which is ridiculous. I think she's the bulk of the gold advantage that the Formidable 5 have.
Yeah, but if you also look at, for instance, the Azrael, he also has like a 3,000 gold advantage lead over
And
the
that-
other ADC.
Yeah, and that is also the Ocean Soul for Formidable 5, which enhances their team finding potential even more. And it seems the Malphite is trying to bait.
Oh,
That,
not working out.
that
for
wasn't
them.
a very good bait. I hope that wasn't an intentional inting from the Malphite, because that would be a little bit sad for his team. At the end of the day, I don't think that the Malphite going AP worked as intended. It had potential, but I don't think it should have been used perhaps in the first game of this series. Yeah, I think the Formidable 5 are going
There
for the
we
last
go.
ditch fight. They are able to kill the Soraka, they are going to kill the Mundo, the Ari, and that's all she wrote for the Formidable 5, who are going to take the first game into this series.
I get paused.
I did get paused as well, but I think the game ends here, so I think we could exit.
Yeah, I think we can be fairly sure of that. Man,
Yeah,
that was
that was something. It was certainly something.
that was quite convincing win for Formidable 5.
Yeah, I think I expected things to go like this, but not as heavily as it did, because at some points I thought, yeah, they are trading equally. They are getting some objectives here and there, but then it's just suddenly walloped in the other direction, and due in no small part to the Fiora, who ends the game with 8 kills and 3 deaths. Let me just check the damage chart. I assume
Yes.
that it's going to be the Fiora topping it, of course. She managed to spend like most of her time just wailing on that Mundo. So it's going to be no surprise that she has the most damage of the team. Well, I'm curious. What do you think that the Inters in training can do to come back next game?
Yeah, I am really not sure whether this was purely because Fiora was being very good, or that she just managed to take very good use out of the lead she got very early. Because remember, they were 3-0 down after like 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, it was an interesting set of circumstances, but we might see some new picks coming out from the instant training in the second game. If I had to give advice to them, I would not go for the AP Malphite personally. It's fun to try in Abraham, but not so much in an internal competition game.
So
But that's just me.
when did he have to make the decision to go AP Malphite?
I
Because he
think he
might
made
have
that
chosen it as a last resort.
if I remember correctly, I saw him build the AP like already around the 10-minute mark or so. So I think it was already his plan from the get-go. Which I do not find as smart, but on the other hand, I think they might have thought that the Trundle would try to focus with either the Malphite or the Mundo for the resistances. So it might have been a pocket pick or whatever. I don't know, but it obviously
Yeah.
did not work.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
you need to
wait,
join the spectators.
Oop. Are we already starting the next game, or are we going to take like a couple of minutes break?
I think it's good to take a couple minutes break. And then we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Game number 5 starting soon, and we'll see you guys in a bit. Bye bye.
Falling away as I'm searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night so we can see the end in sight. We're gonna shout it out to
Hello everybody, and welcome back to game number 2 of Formidable 5 versus Inters in Training. Formidable 5 taking the first match quite well.
Quite convincingly. I think that the Formidable 5 were better than the Inters in Training, at least individually, when it came down to the laners, because I believe that most, or rather all of their lanes managed to gain early advantages from which they snowballed into the mid game.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it seems that the Inters in Training responded to last game by banning the Fiora, which I think it's a fairly good choice on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Fiora was obviously a menace when it was allowed to scale as hard as it did. Of course, I'm sure that Silence is able to pick another menace in the top lane. Maybe wait, let me actually check the OP Punchy G.
Nami ban again from Formidable 5.
Yeah, I think the Formidable 5 don't think they need to change a lot when it comes to the bans.
Yeah.
But the Inters in Training are responding well to the last game and are banning the Ezreal to perhaps counter a bit of the bot lane.
Fear is the first of many foes.
Garen ban.
And that's actually one of the, if I do believe so, that's the top laner, Dark Thieves, plays Garen
Okay.
sometimes. So it's a comfort pick, of course. Garen isn't super good in a 5v5, I would say, but it's still good to take away some of those comfort picks.
Mm.
And it seems that Inters in Training is opting again for the Soraka.
Okay,
And
Lucian pick from Silence.
Yeah, I think that's going to be Danny's Lucian, which is his most played champion actually. He has almost 170 games played this season with a 54% win rate and almost 3.5 KDA. So he's I think it's safe to say that he's a fairly good Lucian player. And the combination with the Braum is going to be extremely deadly because Lucian can of course chain his auto attacks in quick succession, and Braum with his 3-hit passive is going to stun anyone that is unfortunate enough to be hit by it. And in response, they take the Morgana, which I think might be going mid lane, or they are going to do some weird strat where they take the Morgana in the jungle. But I think this might be a Morgana mid lane, unless it's a Morgana Soraka bot lane, which.
And Mundo once again. Again, top lane, you think?
Yeah, I think it might be top lane again. And to be fair, the Mundo did. It was a big tank, but it just wasn't enough, and it was way too late. So it might, if they play a little safer this game, they might actually get the Mundo to a point where it might become more of a threat. And they take the Gwen in response, and Gwen is I'm not actually exactly sure about the Gwen Mundo lane, but I also think it might be Gwen favored. I'm not sure, but I think that in the hands of Silence, it might still be a very dangerous pick. And they banned Ahri for Inters in Training, and I'm not sure about that one. It wasn't that big of a threat last game, but they might have thought differently. And they banned the Jinx for the AD carry position.
And the Ahri.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they would ban the Ahri, but I suppose they thought it was I suppose that they thought it was annoying on the mid lane.
Yeah, but she didn't do too well, I think.
Yeah, she didn't, but then none of the team did. But
Yeah.
They might be thinking that if you can snowball the mid lane a little earlier, they could finish a little earlier.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's. I think that might be the Galio mid lane or the Galio top lane.
Um.
I don't actually know because Galio isn't played on top lane anymore. So
Isn't
I
it?
guess.
At least in
guess
my
it could-
rank, I see it sometimes.
Yeah, it very well could be to play top lane. I played it top lane, but I don't think it's meta anymore. But I think this might be going mid lane. I suppose maybe. Of course, Galio has a magic damage shield, which I suppose would be good against the Morgana. And I think it's normal for the Galio to build a little bit more damage than straight tank, but
Okay, and
Actually,
where
the
would the
in-
Lucian go then?
the Lucian would go bot lane, of course. The Gwen top lane, and they are going to pick the jungler last, I would say. But on the other hand, the Inters in training have picked the Amumu, which is a notorious bot lane and support, of course, because they have the incredible 2 bandage tosses, which is good to see early game, and can really help with securing a team fight for Inters in training. So I'm curious to see if they are able to utilize it properly. But I also know that Amuma players do not have a brain because they just go in, use their CC, and oftentimes they are way too far away from their team, which then leads to them dying. And I think we can safely say that it's the Galio mid lane and the Gwen top lane, as I predicted, and it might be the. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure about Innocent training, but I think it's the Morgana. It's the Morgana mid lane, and the Amumu jungle. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that as well.
But I think that the Jarvan is still favored when it comes to the 1v1 in the jungle, and the Jarvan Sunset Stone might be a little bit more willing to invade Amumu's jungle as opposed to last game. But let's look at the win conditions. How can the Inters in training get a win for themselves in this game?
Well, you said that Danny was very comfortable with his Lucian, right? So, like getting a grasp on Lucian would probably be a good start.
Yep, I think so. If they are able to lock down the Lucian with things like the Amumu, perhaps even the Morgana, if she comes down from mid lane, then that might actually be a good one, because that's Gwen only starts to become like a really big source of damage a little bit more into the mid game and late game. So if they are able to shut down the team before it gets to that point, then they might have a shot. But on the other hand, they might also try to wait a little bit more for the Mundo to scale, because I think he was a little bit of a non-factor. When if a Mundo is played properly, then he can literally 1v9, which is terrifying. So, but I think that a Formidable 5 is confident that I can stop the Mundo from getting to a point where he's becoming a real threat.
And Silence, is he gonna be any threat as a Gwen, or only like after a certain time?
I'm not so sure. I'm not that. I hate Gwen. I'm not so sure about Gwen as a champion, but I do know that it can do a deceptive amount of damage. But I can't really see. OP.GG is not really working with me right now, so I can't really check if he's played any Gwen or other champions in. I would almost think that this is an alt account. It might be, because Silence is not actually on the guild on the team roster that I have. It's
That
actually
might be a problem, isn't it?
No, actually, wait. Silence is the top laner for weak side prisoners, as is. So wait a minute. Formidable 5 is playing like with 2 players of another team. I
Well,
wonder if
that
I wonder
wouldn't be
if,
right.
I wonder if Intercent Training were informed of that. I hope they were.
We'll have to check that after the game.
Yeah, because I think that I'm looking at the rosters, and Kaiser Kalam was, I think, the usual top laner. But they might have had a little bit of issues with their computer, perhaps.
Well, wasn't it Int Gaming or Team Inter Training that needed a substitute?
Oh yeah, right.
So
Yeah,
that's making it even weirder.
Yeah, we might need to check up on that after the game, because if Intercent Training weren't informed of the substitute, then it might be a little bit of an issue. But let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the game at hand, because I'm sure it'll be just as exciting, if not more exciting, than the last game.
Oh man, look at that Lucian with his 835,000 mastery points.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue. But I have faith. I'm a fan of the Intercent Training, and I hope they can give us. I hope they can give Formidable 5 a run for their money. Let's see if we are going to get some early game shenanigans, or it's starting like last game.
Mhm.
With,
Well, and Formidable 5 didn't really stick to the same team comp that they did last time.
no, they did not.
With only the
It's,
Fiora being banned of their previous comp.
Yeah, but I think that they might also feel comfortable enough to try something different.
Hmm.
Let's see. The Instant Training put down a little bit of vision in the river and spot out the trio of Formidable 5, but no skirmishes.
The Mundo
going to
not
happen.
going into the river this time. Not making that same mistake again.
Yeah, but I suppose that they did nerf. I mean, Gwen used to be really, really dangerous early game because of, I think it was the attack speed saving she got from her E, I believe. But they nerfed that significantly in recent patches, so she's not that big of a threat at level 1 anymore. But still, I wouldn't want to fight her as Muno, because Muno does not have. He is not a duelist. Let's give it at that. Let me see.
So Amumu starting with his Raptors.
I think that might actually be. I think he might be able to get. Yeah, he's getting level 2. I think that's. This way he does not need a leash.
Huh, okay.
Which he played it. I think I'm not so sure about optimal jungle pass for Amumu, but I think he thought this through.
It's definitely the first time I've seen it, but...
Yeah, I think it's like always a race to get the most camps before the first scuttle spawn. So this might be like something.
Yeah, although the
knows and
Scuttle
stuff.
did get nerfed, if I'm correct. Or is that update not out yet?
I don't. I think that's an update they're doing in the precision, which has not yet
Ah, okay.
happened. I think that might be. I think we're on patch 10.2021 or 22.
Okay, so then, yeah,
And
first
it might
Scuttle's
happen
still
like
being important.
Yeah. Let's
But-
let's look at the top lane. The Gwen is already getting a little bit of CS lead over the Mundo, but Mundo is doing well in that he's just hanging back and farming with his Q as much as he's able to. And there's a fight on the bottom lane. Amumu is able to get CC down on the Lucian.
Flash
But
from
does not
Amumu,
have the damage
getting
to
away.
finish it off, and the TP by the Gallios came just in time to get the double kill for the Lucian, and that fight started so well for the Intercent Training, but the quick response from the Galio in the mid lane, and of course the plays by the Lucian itself was
Yeah.
enough to avert disaster. But that's 2 kills on the one person you don't want to have kills on, so that's going to be tough for Intercent Training, and I think the Misfortune is trying to maybe poke a little.
Or maybe even a Plater.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
man.
the perhaps if the Jarvan had been there, they could have tried to dive the misfortune before the Soraka return, but that might be something for another day.
Once again, quite a formidable lead after just a few minutes from the Formidable 5.
Yeah, it's clear that they know their win conditions, which obviously is the bot lane.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Mm.
But it is showing that last game wasn't just a fluke when it came to the first few minutes.
You can always see that Gwen traded with the Muno and already does a whole lot of damage, but the Amumu is walking top lane and the Gwen does not have any vision, so that's going to be an interesting fight. The Gwen is fairly low. Is she going to be able to get out of this? She might be able to. I don't know. I don't think she has the damage yet. Or she might.
Oh.
Yeah, she's actually able to
kill.
get the kill on the Amumu. And this is heavily in the favor of the Gwen. A 2v1 and get a kill back. That's actually really good.
Yeah, but
so that's another disadvantage for the Inters in training.
But it does mean that Mundo has a little bit of a lead over Gwen now. I mean, the Amumu did get killed twice, but...
let me check the gold. The gold value says that they are dead even.
Okay. Oh.
Like, barely like 50 golds apart, so that's... But since Gwen was able to go back, and Muno wasn't, the advantage is actually towards Gwen, because she has more items and does more stats.
Hmm.
And I think Gwen knows it, because she's going to trade with the Muno again, for a fairly considerable amount of damage. And the trades and the bot lane go fairly even.
I haven't seen much of Jarvan yet. He seems to be just farming,
I think, yeah, Jarvan is getting himself a little bit of farm. I think he might think that he's more useful to the team if he has his ultimate, which I can understand. But he has a lot of CC. He should already be ganking like at level 2, which he can be really good at. But there's pings coming down towards the blue side jungle, and is Jarvan going to invade? Oh, the Jarvan is not seeing this, but yeah, it's just going to give that up. Unless the Morgana is able to... No. Yeah, the Morgana was very low, so I don't think she had any tools to stop the Jarvan from doing what he did. And I'm wondering if the Jarvan is going to spot the control ward that the Mumu is going to spot the control ward that the Jarvan put down.
I mean, we did see a Mumu trying a lot, but...
TP teleport top lane for the Mundo. Is the Gwen going to be able to trade back? So the Gwen already used her teleport earlier, so that'll be an advantage, a teleport advantage for the Formidable 5 in, I'm not sure, I think maybe 2 to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But you can already see that the amount of damage that the Gwen is putting out is really putting the hurt down on the Mundo again. So I think Silence just has the edge over Dark Thief, if the stats are to be believed.
Yeah, the Silence does seem to grab quite the attention during each of the games. Yeah. I just kind of seem to forget about the mid lane completely, just like last game.
Mid game is fairly it's fairly docile. It's not really that funky. I mean, you have a Galio fighting against the Morgana, which doesn't make for the most awesome and exciting plays, but I suppose both of them are going to skill into the mid game and be of use to their teams in another way, or we'll just have to see. Obviously, the Galio has his ultimate, which makes any fight that's in the favor of the instant training. It could go in the advantage of the Formidable 5 in the blink of an eye, because it's semi-global at level 2, I believe. So Let's just see how they are able to utilize it.
I just noticed as well, almost 9 minutes in and nobody has even touched the Drake. There's been so much activity on the lanes that those objective doesn't seem to matter that much.
I don't actually remember if they... I think they took the first Drake quite late as well in the last game, but I'm not... Oh, they are going to fight the Amumu in the river, but Amumu is totally alone against 3. And he is able to get away with a flash and the use of the plants. But this gives the Formidable 5 a considerable amount of presence in the river, allowing them to get the Rift Herald, which should amplify their pushing power greatly. And if they are able to perhaps set up a gank in the mid lane and kill the Morgana or force her out, they might be able to get the plates.
Yeah, and they might even be able to use that Rift Herald to gain an advantage to get an easy Drake as well.
Perhaps, yeah, it's good. And they'll have to make some difficult choices, leaders, in trading. If they do they prioritize defending the Drake, or do they prioritize the towers? Oh yeah, that's actually, yeah, that's another great pick on the Amumu. I think they saw him on the ward. Did they see him on the ward? Yeah, I think they saw him on the ward and just waited for him to feel safe as the last seconds of his recall tick down. But it's a rough game for the Amumu, and actually a rough game for the Misfortune as well, as they almost die in the bottom lane, but barely alive. And actually the Gwen is able to 1v1 the low health Mundo on the top lane. That was actually...
Oh, bottom lane also having a rough time here.
Jesus Christ, it's blink and you miss it. Action going on all around the map here, with the Formidable 5 gaining significant advantages in the bottom lane and the top lane.
Yeah, so getting 3 plates already here.
I think
and
this,
a Rift Herald on top.
Yeah, that's going to be a couple of more plates in the advantage of the Formidable 5 and the first turret gold.
Damn.
Which extends their lead to 6k gold at 11 minutes, which
Mumu
I
taking
believe
the
is
Drake,
even... He could, yeah, they don't actually have vision.
Yeah, and Jarvan has the bag, so
unless this, I think Galio wouldn't have seen this if the Morgana hadn't TP to it, but I think they might actually secure this.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a Drake, the first Drake in the advantage of the instant training.
So it's going to be a small win for what have been quite a bit of losses this game so far.
I think it's good that they don't resign themselves to the fate. Oh, but that's actually a TP going down on the bottom lane, and it's going to be a big team fight in